Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we are covering Heliolisk. This is an updated version of the video for Generation 8, so if you want to check out the previous video that I've done for Heliolisk, it does have a little bit of variance on sets. You can check that out up in the corner. There is a card right now that should be available for you. Now, I'll also say please do like and subscribe if you have not done so already. It really does help out the channel and it helps me to grow up a nice community, which I am really enjoying right now. So, getting back to Heliolisk, we have 3 sets today, 2 generic and 1 dynamax. The second one could be dynamax, as well as the fact that the second one, I will tell you now, is very, very quirky. Heliolisk cannot be run in too many different ways, yeah, it's not the most versatile Pokemon in the world, but it is really good at what it does. It has base 109 speed and special attack, meaning that it's really fast and it can hit really hard. It's also got a nice special defense, so it can live hits on the special side, but its defense is actually pretty poor, so physical hits are probably quite a no-no. Okay, so moving on to the first set, we have a Throat Spray set. So Hyper Voice being a strong stab normal type move, obviously normal hits a lot of Pokemon for neutral damage, except for Rock and Steel, which you can hit for with the Focus Blast. But the Hyper Voice is going to allow you to set up the Throat Spray to increase your special attack by 1 stage. Now that goes from 317 to about 470-ish. Which makes it very, very powerful. You've then got the potential for the solar power to be boosting you even further, so that increases your special attack by 1.5 times again, so that will take you up another, 225, so that'll go up to 680 or so, basically around 700. So your special attack will be very, very high, meaning you can do a lot of damage, but you do lose an 8 for your max health every turn, and you will be required to have either a Pokemon that has Sunny Day, or will set up using Dynamax, so have a Max Flare, or a Pokemon that has Drought as the ability. So you would have to require that if you're going to go for Solar Power. You can always go for Sand Veil, increases your evasiveness, so a Sand Team can definitely be usable as well. And Dry Skin here is even usable. I put Dry Skin on one of the other sets at least, but I think Dry Skin, very, very nice ability to have. It gives you essentially the immunity to water, allowing for you to be healed by water, but it does increase the issues with fire types and the sun, so do be cautious with that, obviously, because there are a lot of weather teams around. Now, move-wise, as I said, Hyper Voice is there to activate that Throat Spray. That is basically giving you a choice specs without having to worry about the actual limiting factor of being stuck into a choice move. So Hyper Voice can work very nicely there. As I said, Focus Blast covers those other 2 for super effective damage. You've got Thunderbolt, your strong stab, electric type attack, it hits a variety of different Pokemon. And then you've got Dragon Pulse as just another coverage move, again, hitting a lot of different Pokemon. Now, if you want to, you could always run this as choice specs. If you don't want to have to set up that first turn, you just immediately want to come in with a very high special attack. You could go for choice specs and possibly replace one of the moves with Volt Switch, either Thunderbolt because you might not want to double up on electric, or you could go for Volt Switch instead of things like Dragon Pulse. So that's definitely an option for you to do. If you would wish to do it, it's up to you how you decide to go. EV's got max special attack and max speed with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. Now, I would recommend going for the timid here because your special attack is being raised so much, and with the timid nature, you will outspeed as many Pokemon as you possibly can, including like higher speed Pokemon that aren't necessarily the plus speed invested, or base 100 speed Pokemon that are the plus speed invested, because if you wasn't plus speed invested, you would not outspeed them and they would outspeed you and do a lot of damage to you, especially if they're physical. But that is the thought process there. Obviously, solar power, you do have to be cautious of losing your health, but it can work very nicely. Now, moving on to the second Heliolisk, as I said, this is a very quirky set. Now, I've mentioned about the option of having choice specs. I didn't want to create another choice spec set because it would essentially be the exact same as the first Heliolisk, as I explained, just with the Volt Switch instead of one of the moves. But I thought, let's go for Choice Band here. Now, Choice Band can work quite nicely. You've got Dry Skin as an option here. You can Dynamax with this set, technically. You could Dynamax if you wanted to. If you're going to Dynamax, don't go for the Dry Skin because you'll go for the Max Flare potential, and then obviously that Sun will take your health down. So you probably want to go for Sand Veil in that option to make sure you're not losing health because Solar Power isn't relevant in this set. So you've got Fire Punch, which if you Dynamax will turn to max player, setting up the sun. That gives options for like Chlorophyll users and the rest of your team, or even Solar Power users. You've got Low Kick, which if you decide to Dynamax will turn to max Knuckle, increasing up your attack stat. And Low Kick is also actually a really useful move. A lot of heavy Pokemon could be a concern here, so I'm thinking like Steelix. This problem, typically ground type Pokemon are very heavy, so Low Kick can do a lot of damage to them. But yeah, and then we've got Wild Charge, powerful electric type attack. It's a variety of Pokemon. It's boosted by Stab, and then U-turn just in case you want to get out of there and potentially just scout if they're going to do a switch or whatnot. Now, as I said, very, very quirky. This is a set that is interesting. It's probably one that you're not necessarily going to use, but I thought let's show off the physical prowess that Heliolisk does have, because it does actually get some nice moves, and obviously with Low Kick and the option to raise up your attack through Dynamaxing, if you go for 3 of those, you'll get a 2.5 times boost, so you go up to like, I don't know, 500 attack, so it's not too bad, especially considering Heliolisk, I think, is a low tier. Let's just check. Yeah, it's RU, so it's low tier, so it can work quite well. EVs, we've got a couple of options. You can run max attack and max speed with a jolly nature, so more speed, less special attack. You could run with the adamant nature if you wanted to. You could possibly even go max HP, max attack if you wanted to, instead of the speed, to allow you to be able to live a few more hits, to allow you to potentially set up. But those are the kind of options that you have there. And finally, moving on to the Dynamax form of Heliolisk. We don't get any way of raising up our special attack, which is a bit of a problem, but we do have a weakness policy set here. Now, weakness policy allows for you to double your special attack and your attack, going from 317 to 634. That makes it look very, very nice. Obviously, ground type moves are very, very common. If you want to go for something like doubles, I know you can have Dusclops with Bulldoze. That could work very well for you, for example. And then ability of Dry Skin. This gives you obviously the water types, quarter from water type moves, and an 8 from rain. But you do have the weaknesses to fire, so do be cautious of that. Now, when Dynamax, you're going to want to use Rising Voltage as max lightning to set up the electric terrain. Then this will allow for Rising Voltage to become more powerful if the target is grounded in the electric terrain. So let's say that it is a Conkeldurr, for example. That's grounded, you'll have 2 times the power on there, so it'll go from a base 70 move to a base 140 power move, which obviously is very, very strong and is boosted by Stab as well, so it does so much damage. Next up, Dragon Pulse. Now, Dragon Pulse can be really effective as max move, max Wormend, I think, or however you say it. I don't actually know how to say it, I don't even know how to spell it, if I'm honest. But that lowers the attack of the opposing Pokemon. Obviously, you've got a low defense that can work quite nicely in your favor. You've also got access to Surf, which can set up the rain for you, activating the Dry Skin, allowing for you to heal yourself up a little bit more. And whilst you're going to take the extra damage from the I can't think what it's called. You're going to take extra damage from the Fire-type moves. This mitigates that because you have the rain set up, meaning that Fire-type moves are going to do half the damage anyway. So you're kind of sorting out the issues of Dry Skin by having Surf there and setting up the rain. Now, you could always run Thunder instead of Rising Voltage here, but I think Rising Voltage works very, very nicely. And also, Rising Voltage raises the power of electric-type moves ever so slightly anyways. And finally, I put Weather Ball on here. Now, Weather Ball is a very underrated move. I think it works very, very nicely. It doubles in powers when in the rain, or for example, and it will become a Water-type move, so base 100 Water-type move. That will hit things like ground types and super effective damage. Eevee's gone for max special attack and max speed with a timid nature with more speed and less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. Anyways, that is all for Heliolisk. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here. So have a good one, and I'll see you soon.